It's now 7:45 PM. We will now turn to the clerk for roll call.
Board Member Cruz?
Present.
Board Member McCray?
Present.
Board Member Kelly?
Here.
Vice Chair Turkin? Chair Shelton?
Present.
Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Our invocation tonight will be by Board Member McCray, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Board Member Kelly. If we could all stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Let us bow to the Creator and Maker of all mankind. We stand before you this afternoon in the humblest manner that we know how. We first recognize that thou art God, and besides you there is no other. As we deliberate for the city tonight, we ask that you look down upon us, that you lead us and guide us in what we say and do. In your name we do pray. Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to additions, deletions, corrections to the agenda. Let's begin to my left with Board Member McCray.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm okay. Thank you.
Board Member Kelly.
I'm good, thank you, Mayor.
Board Member
Or Chair.
Turkin.
I just want to say great job on the night market. Phenomenal event. Had a lot of people reach out to me before I even got there to be like, hey, are you here? This is amazing. So kudos to you guys. You guys knocked it out of the park, year over year. So thank you guys for producing such a good product.
Board Member Cruz.
Not for me,
Thank you. Moving on to item 6A, Legal Counsel.
Motion to approve agenda.
Oh,
Second.
we have a motion to approve the agenda, and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Now moving on to item 6A, Legal. No more, sorry, it's, me, it's the third meeting. Moving on to item 6A, Legal Counsel. Can you open the item?
Yes, good evening, Board Chair Catherine Rossmell, Lewis, Longman, and Walker. This relates to the item that we discussed at the joint meeting between the city and CRA. The CRA has received an employment complaint from a former employee. Typically, I do not engage outside counsel without this board's permission. In this case, there's been a situation that required us to move a little faster, so I'm asking for you to ratify that decision or direct me otherwise if that's your preference. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have generally about that engagement. Would prefer any substantive discussion remain offline.
Does anyone have any questions or comments for council?
Could you give me a motion to? Thank you.
We have a motion to approve, and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. We will now move on to informational items by the members of the board. Let's begin on my left with Board Member McCray.
Thank you. I already made my statement about the night market, so I'm good. Thank you.
Board Member Kelly.
No, I am sorry, I missed it, just like you, Mayor. I happened to be out of town, but I also, I wanted to just share that the collaboration between city staff and the CRA staff, I have heard nothing but positive on both sides. And I think that is to be commended that, when you go through change and transition, but even in running the events and working the events, that just the collaboration and the excitement to be, serving our residents and doing what we do. The staff is just, they are top-notch, and they work together so well. And I'm just super proud of the CRA staff and also city staff to really just embrace change and to work together so well. So thank you to everyone. Welcome, Nicole. I'm super excited to keep seeing you. I guess we'll see you even more now, but I'm super happy to have you on the CRA side. Thank you.
Board Member Turkin.
No, I received.
Yep, and Board Member Cruz. Okay, moving on to item 8A, miscellaneous quarterly reports from April through June 26. Staff, please come to the podium. Or not.
It's usually
a la carte.
if we want to hear it, yeah.
And do, I'm okay not hearing it, I've already reviewed
so-
it.
I'm okay as well.
I
Okay.
reviewed them before the meeting.
Me too.
Thank you.
Okay.
Perfect.
Moving on to announcements. Staff, please approach the podium.
Good evening, Board. Mercedes Coppin, Business Development Manager. We are excited to host Rock the Plaza at Ocean Palm Plaza on Saturday, August 22nd from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. This plaza is located at 1600 North Federal Highway. This free business promotional activation will showcase the plaza, including the local businesses that are there. Attendees can enjoy live music from the band Girlfriend Material, family-friendly activities, as well as complimentary samples from our participating local restaurants. And of course, we'll have our special Boynton Beach Bucks offers as well. For added convenience, we have secured a circuit shuttle to transport people from the City Hall parking lot directly to the plaza during the event hours. And we just encourage everyone to come out and spend an afternoon enjoying some live music and supporting our local community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mercedes, I'm not sure how that plaza is going to be able to top Man Cave's presence at the last Rock the Plaza, but I'm looking forward to checking it out.
Okay,
Thank you.
absolutely.
We are now moving on to public comment. If anyone would like to speak, now is the time to please come down to the podium. You'll have 3 minutes. I know it did it get warm in here?
Yes, the air turned off.
Oh,
Apparently, it
'cause
got
of
too
the
late.
time.
Can you wait to 14A?
No, 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 no,
speak
no,
now.
no, no,
No,
no,
No, you
no.
speak now.
Dan, don't confuse
Okay.
people from the
All right,
audience.
you let me know when I'm ready.
You're good.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Stephen Grant, property owner of 136 Northeast 3rd Avenue. I'm here because it is the last chance that I might have to make my statement regarding 135 Northeast 3rd Avenue. I was looking at the paperwork just now, and, the CRA spent $1.1 million that they're going to sell to Lennar, which is a for-profit corporation, for $330,000. My big concern is the 3 mango trees that are across the street from me that are well over 50 years old. And whatever the CRA can do, because right now it's designated for 2 houses. And so if the CRA and the city can keep those mango trees, I was dismayed to see how the CRA and the city took down the urban orchard in the heart of Boynton Beach, and I'm not aware of any sort of replacement of that urban orchard. So whether you're unable to save it, I'm hoping that some of the funding from the CRA can go towards an urban orchard within the CRA, because I think fresh fruit and historical trees of that nature we need to preserve, and there's very few pocket parks in Hart Boynton. I remember the Boynton Hills that the Garden Club put the effort in to make it into a park. It was a dilapidated property, and with the community involved and $500 from community support funds, they were able to make it something. I believe they're in the works to get a tree that was torn down in a storm, but we're here right now for the opportunity to save historical trees in Boynton Beach, just like the banyan tree that's a little bit further west. I think it's like 125 Northeast 3rd Avenue. This is the historical community, and whatever the CRA can do to hopefully keep those trees, because I read in the purchase and sale agreement that the purchaser is supposed to keep the environmental aspect of that property, and losing 5,000 square feet of canopy to put another home in there would not keep that environmental the same. So thank you for allowing me to speak, and my suggestion would be is to ask one of your attorneys to see if you can bifurcate that property and sell the vacant part and keep the mango trees.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the room before we look online? I don't think there's anyone.
There's nobody online.
Okay, public comment is now closed. We will be moving on to the consent. If my colleagues would like to pull any items from consent, let's now begin on my left with Board Member McCray,
I'm good.
Board Member Kelly, Board Member Turkin, and Board Member Cruz.
No, thank you. Motion to approve.
Second.
Second?
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Item 14A is the consideration and the purchase and development agreement with Lennar Homes LLC for the construction of workforce housing Teresa?
Good evening,
Hello.
Board. Teresa Utterback, Development Services Director. As you may remember, Lennar had responded to an invitation to negotiate for properties, infill properties that the CRA owned, which were scattered throughout HOB, Heart of Boynton. We've gone over quite a few terms, and what we've boiled it down to are, I'm going to give you like the gist of it. There will be 6 lots, 3 of which will be divided, if possible. It'll provide for 9 homes. Out of those 9 homes, 6 will be 1,500 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. They have upgraded a few things, like we did a field trip to some of their houses north of here, and we asked for bigger lanais on the back patio, some reinforcement in the driveways, that sort of thing, and they conceded to that, so we're all good on there. 3 of the houses, will be larger because one of the lots is larger, and the other lot we can split into 2. And they are going to be 2,400 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage. So there's a very nice mixture. Out of that, I wanted to just bring to your attention what the selling prices are going to be based on, and I'm going by 2026. They just came out for the workforce housing, the new pricing. Next year will be a little bit different, but it just gives you an idea. And it's actually gone down. The purchase prices have actually gone down a little bit. So there will be one low, and that low will be a sales price of $225.96 based on 2026. There will be 6 moderate. Those will be sold at $290,520. And then there will be 2 moderate 2s, and those will be sold at $355.80. So good pricing. Any other questions? The median, I know what I wanted to update you guys to. The median income now this year, surprisingly enough, in 2025, it was at 111,800, and it actually went down a little bit to 107,600. So I feel like these prices are really gonna make a difference for some families, and the size of the homes are really nice, so I've been pleased. I didn't know if there was any questions on any other of the terms of the agreement.
Anybody have any questions?
There's one other thing I'd like to just add to Teresa's comments. We received the proposed warranty yesterday at 4 o'clock. In our review today, they are offering a 1-year warranty on the homes. That is it. Typical for market rate homes is usually a 1 to 10 model, where you'll get 1 year full coverage, a limited 2 or 3 year, and then a structural warranty of 10 years. I just wanted to point out that that has not been offered in this case. A 1-year coverage is required by state law, and that is what they provided.
I mean, at the sale price of the home, 1 year, I mean, you're not going to find a home for that price, a brand-new home, anywhere.
But there's no structural coverage after 1 year,
Right.
which I believe Lennar does that for their other projects. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they do. So that's an issue that I'll get back to, sorry. But the big thing for me is that these are public dollars, and the benefit should go to residents first, and then I would say, city employees next.
So 2 things that did make it into the agreement, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but at the last time we heard this item, the board asked for fencing to be included. Those are included in the agreement. And they also put in the agreement 30-day advance marketing to Boynton residents before they market or outreach outside of Boynton Beach.
So it's advanced marketing, but I think it's still, the burden is still on the resident to then go through the county's workforce housing program. Is that correct?
Yes.
So that's where, like, I think they should do a little bit more. I don't want to say handhold, but if there's any opportunity, because this is a good deal for them, so I would imagine that we have a little bit of leverage, because I think there is an opportunity elsewhere if we don't move forward. And so I would like to use that leverage to then ask them a few things. One being an opportunity for them to carry on some process to facilitate and simplify this, not just the marketing for our residents, but if we have residents or city employees that want to apply, that they're helped through the process. A lot of these times, these processes are difficult, and maybe people get lost in the requirements. So I want to make sure that there is a go-to reference, and that shouldn't be, it's my position that that burden shouldn't be on the CRA, right? I think that should be on Lennar. Also, I would like to review the warranty, because that, I'm not 100% sure, but I really do think that they do have, for some of their other neighborhoods, a 10-year warranty on the structure.
Most market rate
Yeah.
follows that model. It doesn't necessarily need to be the full
Correct.
10 to 10 model, but a structural warranty for only 1 year if something is faulty in the construction.
That's not fair, yeah.
Right, that's the whole thing, like, I
Or
mean,
you
yes,
don't get a
they're-
couple of hurricanes,
Yeah, you
you
wouldn't
know what I
know.
mean?
Right,
It's the step down usually, right? So
Yes.
it's up to 10 years, but every year it changes, the tiers of going from full coverage to a step down.
Like to ask for the 10 years, I would support.
I do believe that the
They're not
applicant,
going to give a structural for 10 years.
I do believe
but-
that they may be online if they wanted to
they're
respond to
not
some. They're
appearing
not
on-
online.
They're not
Well,
online
he is traveling, so we
Okay.
weren't sure with the length of the other.
meetings, okay.
What I did do, because Amanda and I did talk about this briefly before the meeting, I did shoot off, I had spoke to Sam, one of the representatives, and just gave him a heads up on this. He said he wanted it in writing. I sent that email tonight. So we can always bring this back in
Yeah.
September.
Yes.
And see what they say about the warranty and the facilitating and trying to simplify the workforce housing program. I'm not sure how that's gonna go, because I know that that's a set thing. I have handheld and walked some people through it, and it is, it's a lot of work, but the end result,
Yeah, I think it's a good ask,
absolutely.
It costs them a little bit of time, which I think is fair along with the warranty. So I would make a motion to renegotiate
Yeah.
the terms for this.
Perfect.
For terms that are more favorable with the home warranty, and then a process for them to have like a start to finish process from marketing the product for Boynton residents, and then to city employees, start to finish.
What
if
is
po-
the
if possible.
timeframe for them to go through this with the county? Like, if they're doing it 30 days out and somebody sees the advertisement, is that enough time for them to get approved?
I don't know what the time frame is. I know that, I can tell you this, that I have been working with the Cottage District, kind of rollover of the people that didn't make that. And the nice thing about the county program is that you can, a lot of the people that entered for Pulte,
Right.
they're on a waiting list now, and that's good for
All
2
their stuff
years.
is in.
Yes, so anybody that missed that opportunity, I'm not saying they were Boynton residents, but they will be, called me, and we're now starting a list already.
Okay.
Because they've already been approved, and they might just have to get updated. And I think the other good thing about this is with these prices a little bit down for 2026, like I said, those won't hold into 2027, but I think that a lot of city employees will be eligible. I think it's a really good sign that a lot of city employees will be eligible for that type of home on that price, so.
Residents first.
Absolutely. And they do have that 30-day advance, right? But anything else we can do to try to, I'll do whatever I can to make sure this gets out. And the nice thing about the county program is that you can, a lot of the people that entered for Pulte,
Right.
they're on a waiting list now, and that's good for
All
2
their stuff
years.
is in.
Yes, so anybody that missed that opportunity, I'm not saying they were Boynton residents, but they will be, called me, and we're now starting a list already.
Okay.
Because they've already been approved, and they might just have to get updated. And I think the other good thing about this is with these prices a little bit down for 2026, like I said, those won't hold into 2027, but I think that a lot of city employees will be eligible. I think it's a really good sign that a lot of city employees will be eligible for that type of home on that price, so.
Residents first.
Absolutely. And they do have that 30-day advance, right? But anything else we can do to try to, I'll do whatever I can to make sure this gets out, because I believe in that, so.
Thank you. My concern is, you're saying what we're going to build and all that stuff. A picture's worth 1,000 words. I'm not knocking your presentation, but it'd been nice to show something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
For people who's watching online or who might watch later on, I'm just saying this is what we're planning on building. at your next one. I'm
I
just
will
saying.
have, yes, I will
Thank
have
you.
the pictures on what the board chose as the models. I'll have pictures for you. I
Thank you.
apologize.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
So we will be bringing that back. Yeah, to bring it. No.
We do not need a motion.
Oh,
I'll keep my motion.
Second.
She said we don't.
No, what is your motion? You'll keep it.
So I'll make a motion to go to amend the contract to renegotiate for more favorable terms for the warranty, and then also the process for city residents, then city employees, to start from market to application,
that
to
what you
to
needed?
hopefully closing.
We can take it by motion or direction as you prefer.
Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Teresa, go do your thing.
Thank you. You're the best.
Moving on to new business, item 15A, presentation of the preliminary findings of the CRA's finding of necessity report staff.
Yes, hi. I wanted to just introduce Keith and Associates. Mike Vondermeulen will be presenting this item. Just as backup, we spoke at this at a previous item about doing a finding of necessities report ahead of completing our update to the CRA plan. The preliminary findings looked at possible retractions and expansions of the CRA, and we're here to report back what we have seen so far and how the climate has changed since we made that direction to move forward.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the CRA Board. My name is Mike Vondermeulen with Keith, and we are here tonight to go ahead and present the preliminary findings of necessity for the CRA. Do we have the president?
I believe IT is pulling up the presentation.
With me tonight, I'll just go ahead and make introductions. I have Mr. Greg Cheveria, who is our Vice President of Civil Engineering, Chris Morey, who is our Director of Community Development, and Daniel Wonsliak, who is one of our recent graduates from UF in the planning department and is now a new employee of Keith as a planner. Okay, there we go. So what we plan on covering tonight, what the CRA is, why it matters, the funding, tax increment revenue, the proposed homestead exemption referendum that is still scheduled for November, the analysis of 8 districts. 6 of those are the existing planning districts that are within the CRA, and then 2 areas that were proposed for expansion. Then it was the approach and the study of the 2 expansion areas, and lastly, the overall recommendations. So the CRA, the Boynton Beach CRA, at a glance, is essentially 2.5 square miles or 1,650 acres. Has the 6 planning districts, has been in existence since 1983, 43 years. So congratulations to that CRA. And then there were 3 boundary extensions over that 43-year period. Over the last 10 years, there has been investment in redevelopment of $180.7 million. And for the fiscal year 2026 alone, it's $26.2 million. Of that $26.2 million, approximately $19 million is city TIF, and then the other $7 million is from the county. So it is a community redevelopment agency. Essentially, it was created 43 years ago to eliminate or remedy slum and blight. And how did that come about? There were studies that were performed. And then essentially what we did was create another study making sure that the additional or the current 6 planning districts, as well as the 2 expansion areas, still meet those criterias for slum and blight, which is the finding and necessity analysis. In that, the criteria includes vacant parcels, deteriorating buildings and lots, code violations, crime, poor lot layouts, multiple ownerships of one particular property. You know, a lot of times people would inherit property, there'd be multifamily members, and there would be neglect due to indecision by the multiple owners of that particular property. And then lastly, faulty or poor transportation infrastructure. There's a legal process that you need to go through following the state statutes found in 163 on how to go about either expanding or contracting the CRA. And then lastly, if the board so decides to either expand or contract the CRA, the approximate timeline is about 3 months. So it actually could occur before January 1st of this year. So I'll quickly go through this one. You are all CRA board members. You know how tax increment financing works. You set the base year, and then each year after that, you know, essentially the city and the county is locked out. Their taxes remain the same. Any increased value in the property goes to the CRA to allow for reinvestment. And then that reinvestment essentially creates additional dividends and actually, you know, allows the CRA to make further and further investments, eliminating that slum and blight. To give you a good example, here is a bar chart as well as pie chart showing the last 10 years of the tax increment financing here in Boynton Beach CRA. As you can see, it started out in 2016 under $10 million and has grown to over $26 million this year. And in total, again, going back to the $181 million. This is based on information, essentially a breakdown of a 60-40 mix of county taxes or county TIF and 60% city TIF. So this is the 800-pound gorilla in the room. It's the homestead tax exemption and its effect on tax increment revenue. We did a quick analysis here, and you'll see on this slide, of a typical home or an average home in the particular zip code 33435, which comes out to around $307,000. Today, that home would be paying approximately $3,100 in taxes. If the referendum is approved in November, that tax collection will dramatically reduce from the $3,100 to essentially $700. That is a 77% reduction. This will affect both properties within the CRA, but properties outside the CRA as well. So these are just examples. So going into our analysis of the 6 existing districts, the first one we analyzed was the Boynton Beach Boulevard District. This goes from I-95 to the FEC. In that analysis, we found that there were 36 vacant or deteriorating parcels. But we know, as well as you all know, that there is redevelopment currently and underway, including the parcels around I-95, post office, and city hall property. The entire sub-district, the tax base has doubled in the last 10 years, and in just in the past year, it has gone up 4%. So considerations in this particular sub-district is to continue assembling parcels to create larger economic development, commercially viable parcels. Install gateway signage from I-95, wayfinding, and undertake undergrounding utilities so that you can beautify the streetscape. Implementing, again, more streetscape improvements along Boynton Beach Boulevard from I-95 all the way to Federal Highway. The next sub-district we analyzed, this is the cultural district. It's a small, it's the smallest of the 6 districts. Essentially, it has it's a small, stable neighborhood that's surrounded by East Ocean Avenue corridor of commercial development. And the core really needs, essentially some additional facade improvements and streetscape improvements. There's been again, another tenfold growth in the taxes in this area. There was no finding of any vacant properties, commercial properties in this particular district, but there was one historic building that appeared to be at risk, which is on the slide. And so our considerations for this particular sub-district was to go ahead and fund facade improvements, using facade improvement grant program, especially along East Ocean Avenue. Invest in streetscape improvements. And then lastly, restore the historic Andrews Building and providing some wayfinding signage. The next one is the downtown district. It sits between the cultural district and the intercoastal. The city envisions this area, as a vibrant, walkable downtown. And kudos to the city of Boynton Beach, that is starting to occur. When we did our analysis, we were able to find 34 vacant or deteriorating parcels. However, again, just like the Boynton Beach Boulevard, there are projects underway. As I guess the landmark developer had mentioned, I'm sure that this one is also in this particular area. There's been over $500 million in tax base in this particular area, up from $60 million from the original, when it was originally included. And there's a high return on investment when you redevelop parcels in this area. So that is great for the CRA and great for the additional tax increment revenue. For considerations for this area is to essentially continue to do the same thing that you've already done. Address the remaining vacant parcels to spur on additional development. Invest in the underutilized portions of the marina area for fishing, water sports, and tourism. And then add, again, wayfinding, placemaking, and streetscape improvements. The last, or actually the second to last slide here is the Federal Highway District. It is your major corridor. It's your major spine through the city. It is the #1 tax increment revenue generator within all of these sub-districts. We were able to find 9 scattered vacant parcels in the north portion of Federal Highway and 5 in the south portion of Federal Highway. Again, the investments in the Federal Highway corridor have been ongoing for 10 plus years. And those revenues that came from that redevelopment investment are now paying dividends. So again, this is another area where you can continue to make improvements, take advantage of the additional vacancies within the Federal Highway corridor, add additional streetscape improvements where we understand that there are streetscape improvements already underway. And it's essentially continue to do the great things that are happening along the Federal Highway Corridor. Heart of Boynton. This is a 380 residential area. It has some of the oldest housing stock within the city. And the heaviest concentration of actually vacant and blighted buildings within the CRA. And that has the highest redevelopment potential in all of the sub-districts. In this area, when we did our windshield surveys, we were able to identify 95 vacant and deteriorating parcels. Again, this area will be affected by the referendum because there is 380 acres of residential, of which a good portion of it is single family. But it does have the highest redevelopment potential and the highest bang for your buck. The largest concentration of slum and blight, the area infrastructure investments could benefit and spur on additional development and actually also assist in the redevelopment of other sub-districts. So there's a lot of potential here, and the true potential in this particular area in terms of receiving investment tax increment revenue back would be the corridors along MLK and along Seacrest. Oops. Last one here is the Industrial Craft District. And this one is kind of a bit of an outlier. The industrial craft area is actually west of 95, so it's kind of segregated from the rest of the CRA. It has not received any funds from the CRA. So it is actually a donor area or donor sub-district to the rest of the CRA. There's been organic growth. The prices have doubled over the past 10 years. When we look through the properties and through CoStar, there's minimal vacancy rates and plenty of organic investment in the area. And so there is, need to take into account that there's approximately $890,000 being generated annually by this sub-district. So if there was an area that could be shrunken or reduced out of the CRA, this would be one for consideration. But again, when you reduce that, you're reducing those funds. And this 60-40 split with the city and the county, if those funds are taken away from the CRA, the city would only receive approximately 60% of those funds, taxable funds. Then we were asked to go ahead and analyze two expansion areas for the CRA. There was a northern expansion area and a southern expansion area. So the northern one is I-95, Northeast 4th Street, Northeast 26th Street, and the FEC Railway. In here, it's a fairly large residential area. And again, as we've talking about and provided examples about the upcoming referendum, there could be some serious implications in terms of the return on increment revenue from expanding into this sub-district. So there's about 3,100 residential units. About almost 1,400 of them are single-family homes, and of those, 46% of them are homesteaded. There were 0 vacancies observed, And there's actually a limited commercial base in this northern expansion area. So the considerations are, due to the lack of commercial zone property, there wouldn't be any essentially catalytic neighborhood redevelopment, something that could spur on additional redevelopment in the area. There's a limited commercial base. There is going to be the impact from the homestead exemption. And if the redevelopment area were reconsidered, or portions of maybe the Seacrest corridor or other corridors being intensified with additional density or mixed-use commercial, then there could be further refinement of the analysis in this north expansion area. The last area that was reviewed for expansion was the southern expansion area, which is essentially I-95, Woolbright, also bounded by the Boynton Beach Boulevard subdistrict, and then the FEC. In this area, you have, again, close to 1,300 residential properties, and of those, almost 60% are homesteaded. So there's a large impact based on the potential information or the potential impact of the referendum in November that could really affect expanding into this sub-area. Again, there's really no commercially zoned properties within this sub-district. Due to the lack of commercial development, again, it's hard to generate additional tax increment financing. And then there's the big impact of the homestead exemption. Lastly, there has been good investment and you can see this in the study itself, building permits, folks making improvements to their property. However, there was one small area within this southern expansion area near the FEC railroad track where there has been no investment, no building permits, no improvements on property. And it could be an area that should be considered for a possible expansion if so desired. So trying to compile all this information, I know I've gone through a lot of information here, and there's a lot of information in the report. I'll just try to do a quick summary here. So in the existing six districts, we have the criteria, five criteria on the right that we were really analyzing in this finding of necessity. There are observed vacancies and blight. Yes, there still is in all of the six sub-districts. The current sub-districts are at least 4 of the 6. The commercial tax base, at present, 5 of the 6 districts do have the potential for commercial redevelopment and increasing in that tax increment revenue. There has already been a demonstration of practically $181 million over the last 10 years of investment and redevelopment. There is mixed exposure to the homestead exemption in the existing one, as that was identified. And then do these 6 sub-areas, either together or singularly, meet the finding and necessities threshold? And the answer is still yes. On the contrary to the proposed expansions, is there observed blight or vacancies in the area? Not really. There are portions of those sub-districts that could qualify, and maybe further refinement could be needed. And again, that's why this is a preliminary finding. The commercial tax base is extremely minimal, almost absent in the two sub-areas that were studied. Could they generate revenue for tax increment financing or tax increment revenue? And like due to the lack of commercial parcels, there's really not the opportunity to really, juice or increase that tax increment revenue. And does it meet the threshold for findings as a necessity? And in the overall scheme, really not, but if there was additional refinement in particular areas that are slum and blighted or neglected, or that have the potential of being increased in density or increasing in mixed use along major corridors, then there's definitely the opportunity to relook at that. So the overall recommendations, continue the redevelopment investment that you've been doing. It's been excellent. The $180 million over the last 10 years is incredible. The future considerations, you could, if you found it necessary, to remove that industrial area that's kind of an outlier on the other side of 95. It's more board wants to do that. And last, the future consideration of the two expansion areas, we would not recommend a 100% of bringing those into the CRA. However, doing a little bit more selective search on particular properties or corridors, then that certainly could be a consideration. And with that, myself and the rest of the team are here to answer any questions you may have.
Chair. Thank you. Sir, I appreciate you for standing before me and this board and telling us that we have been in existence for 43 years. And you said congratulations. 43 years ago, I sat with charrettes here in Boynton. We said that this is what we going to do. We was going to get rid of slum and blight. I was there when we tore down buildings on MLK Boulevard, which was really northeast and northwest 10th Avenue. Promised the community we was going to deliver. We're still waiting on some deliveries. Go back to your 5 or 6. Let me discuss that with you. Then I'll go back to this last one.
This one here, or?
5 or 6, sir. Keep going back. That right there, the heart of Boynton.
Oh, yes.
92 vacant parcels, still in the heart of Boynton. Sir, you know, I want this commission to understand where I'm coming from. I live this. And it's kind of hard for me to believe out of 43 years, this is the best that we can do. Now, on MLK Boulevard, we finally got off the ground. We put businesses back in there, rather we thought we was putting businesses back in there. We built them and we can't get anybody to occupy them. That's another problem. 43 years, and this is as far as we've gotten, sir. You know, I think for the city of Boynton, I'm gonna be honest with us. This is nothing for us to toot our horns at, nothing for us to brag about. There's a lot of work that probably should have been done that was dropped, that did not get done. Go back to your last page, sir. Future considerations. Go right back to the one, continued redevelopment investments. Heart of Boynton, active. Slum and blight conditions. We're still there. I'm not faulting anybody, but for 43 years, sir, I thought we should have been further down the road with the can than we are now. Sure, we're building now. We finally got off the ground and said that we're doing things in Boynton. But we're still leaving places here in this city that we promised 43 years ago that we was gonna get rid of slum and blight. I'm still looking at slum and blight, sir. So I don't know what we can do as a board for the CRA, but there are some things that we need to get done. And we kind of need to do them kind of expeditiously. Now, I'm just saying, you know, because for a report like this, 43 years later, and this is the best that we can show, sir, I'm not satisfied. I'm sorry. I can sit up here, you know, and say, oh, whoopee, this is what we've done. We haven't done anything, sir. I felt like, you know, we got rid of things, we tore things down. We didn't put things back in the place of it. We bought property. We didn't put things back in the place of. I'm just saying I want this board to understand that we need to get back to the drawing board, the citizens in District 2 as well as in Boynton in the CRA district. Let's be truthful to ourselves and say that, you know, 43 years, we could have done more. I recognize Rome was not built in a day, sir, and neither was Boynton. But guess what? Daylight is still shining, and this is the best that we can do. I'm not happy at all. Thank you.
But the only comment I have is I know that I guess it's the requirement of blight, and then it doesn't meet blight. But I have to strongly disagree with some problematic developments that we have on the southern part of the study, and I get it. It's what, 2 lots equal, it requires it being light or blight, but I don't know. That's frustrating to me about the study, but I understand that that's just the requirements for that definition.
Okay, what was the methodology used to not include west of Seacrest and between Boynton Beach Boulevard and Woolbright into the possible expansion? I'm talking about Forest Park.
I thought that was in the study.
I'm asking, what was the methodology used?
I'm sorry, to review them
Yes.
for slum blight? Yeah. So,
The methodology.
yeah, so Keith did review police crime stats. They reviewed code enforcement data. They did a visual analysis of properties. There's a couple of other things that I am missing.
And is that methodology and the results of that methodology, is there like a Florida state statute that those metrics should adhere to in order for expansion, or is that a professional opinion on your guys' behalf?
Yeah, because the code enforcement part just blows my mind.
The finding of necessity does need to.
I'm asking him. We hired him to do
Yes.
this. So I want to know what the methodology was, because, you know, I'm sure you guys maybe drove once or twice through the neighborhood, but I got to tell you, you know, my colleague made a very good point about 43 years, you know, and you look at Forest Park, you look at Seacrest Estates, you know, I would argue that there is a lot of blighted properties and areas just east of 95 in general. And when you look at east of Federal Highway, I wouldn't really consider those blighted properties. You have multi-million-dollar homes, some builds that are being torn down, and then now they're valued at $4 million, and they're paying into the CRA. And I understand that your perspective is to do what's best for the CRA in terms of increasing that revenue, and I understand that, you know, the market is going to drive that. But my confusion is what the methodology, and I guess more questions than answers, is, you know, what was the exact methodology? What were the results of that? And then is there like an actual Florida state statute or like an FRA recommendation to then expand?
Yes, so the first step in this process is the finding of necessity, to perform the analysis and to review all the criteria that was previously mentioned, which included crime, building permits, code enforcement violations, the poor layout of lots, poor transportation infrastructure, and just vacant properties, uninvested properties. And the analysis is really based on the entire districts that or study areas that were created. So they were aggregated on the whole. And we recognized when we were aggregating that And we were finding particular areas that, yes, there are areas within those expansion areas that do meet the slum and blight requirements.
And what is the
But-
metric for slum and blight? Is there a Florida state statute metric for slum and blight?
Would you like the legal to jump
Yes,
in on the statute?
yes.
Okay, sure. So there is a statutory definition of slum and blight, and it does refer to an excess number of violations of the Florida Building Code. It refers to higher crime relative to the municipality and county, and so. there-
Relative to the municipality and the county.
That's correct. That's what it is. I can give you the exact language. And I am in, for your reference, I'm in 163.340. I'm under the definition of blighted area. And it lists a number of factors. It's factors A through O, with some additional carve-outs after that. Among those factors are things like vacancy rates in the area higher than in the remainder of the county or municipality.
When you say vacancy rates, you mean like, you're talking about like for multifamily?
It says residential and
Okay.
commercial vacancy rates.
It
Okay.
should be multifamily and commercial.
Incidents of crime in the area higher than in the remainder of the county or municipality. Fire and emergency medical service calls to the area proportionally higher than in the remainder of the county or municipality. I can read the factors if you
Right.
like, but to answer your question, there is a statutory definition that refers to these items.
Criteria, but not necessarily a metric?
It does not say,
It doesn't say a percentage
X
of calls?
percentage.
Everything's pretty subjective.
there is not a metric imposed in the
there's not a
statute,
grading
and there's
metric.
not a methodology
Right.
imposed by the statute. It provides the factors to be looked at, but it does not provide a particular threshold that must be met, nor does it say how that threshold is to be examined.
Thank you. So with that being said, how did we get to the conclusion? Is it just in compared to the current CRA? Because and I live in this neighborhood, and, you know, as Commissioner McCray mentioned, you know, the CRAs in the east side of the city, District 2 and District 3. And, you know, it's very different throughout the east side. You have multi-million-dollar homes. You have homes that are $300,000. And so I'm just curious as to if there is no metric that, there's criteria, as Catherine pointed out, and thank you for that, but there is no metric that's governed by state statute. So is the recommendation to not expand done by your comparison for those areas compared to the current CRA district?
In taken in a whole and taken on their own, based on those criteria, the vacancy rates, the crime, the number of vacant parcels, the number of deteriorating buildings.
How, what was the vacancy rates? Or how do you guys collect that data?
The vacancy rates were not particularly included in here as the analysis of vacant parcels.
Okay, vacant parcels.
Yes.
Not vacancy,
Correct,
for multifamily residential, but that is a criteria from what I'm understanding.
It is one of the criteria, yes.
Okay, and so essentially, this is a subjective recommendation that's really not metrically formulated. It's not formulated on metrics. It's criteria from the state statute, and it's your recommendation, because I'll tell you, from my perspective, I 100% believe that there should be an expansion into some of these neighborhoods into, in District 3, right? And I would argue that there's areas in District 2, east of Federal, that aren't considered blighted communities. You know, when you look at the market, right, which is a huge part of how you guys perform your methodology is market and is the housing market. And so I'm just confused as to how that remains, but then we don't expand, you know, otherwise. And so I know you guys are just here to do the study, and I'm not like, you know, I'm not, you know, I'm just asking questions because ultimately it's my goal to follow the statute, which is eliminate slum and blight based on the criteria, right, which this is ultimately subjective, is what it sounds like. And so I guess the next step is if this body decides, right, that they wanted to, hey, you know, we hear you, you know, we get it, but we think we know our neighborhoods a little bit better. And I think if you were, you know, to look at this a little bit more detailed in comparison and compare neighborhoods to neighborhoods, I think there's justification per state statute to then expand into some of these neighborhoods. because a lot of Seacrest Estates and Forest Park, and I would say that medical district that's across near 23rd, which is outside the CRA, those property values are extremely large in contrast, and you'll have houses that are 300,000, and you'll have 800,000. So I don't know, I just don't, I don't want to make a decision for not expanding based on the way this has been performed, and that is not at your guys' fault whatsoever. That's just my my position, because there is no real metric per Florida state statute. It's criteria, and it sounds like that criteria can be, we can move forward more subjectively, in my opinion. And, you know, and I think there's a healthy balance to kind of piggyback on what Commissioner McCray was saying, is that, you know, 43 years, you haven't seen what you wanted to be seen, and maybe there's, you know, and maybe that's because we don't have the map right. And so that's my position. Thank you guys for doing this, and, you know, I'm going to maintain my position that I think we can expand. Ultimately, this is all gonna come down to what happens after November 2nd. I think everyone's looking at that, but we are the largest CRA in the county of Palm Beach. And, you know, also too, I think this goes hand in hand with some city discussion that, you know, I won't talk about tonight, but at a joint session.
Vice Chair, if I could. So to a couple of your points, I think if we were to look at, say, the intracoastal properties east of Federal Highway by themselves, that may not meet the definition, but taking the area, the Federal Highway corridor as an area, I think that's what allowed that to take place. When we gave the consultants these larger areas, although them by themselves may not qualify as a large area, we do believe that there are areas west of Seacrest in the Forest Park area, and areas east of Seacrest towards the railroad that have a really good possibility of being incorporated. So the areas as a whole, not so much, but there are possibilities. This is just a preliminary finding, and we can refine those areas to smaller.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we're not, I just don't want, I don't want to use the word obstruct. I just don't want to run into obstacles because of how this presentation was done and, you know, in Florida statute. So I just don't want this to be like, oh, well, we did the study, recommended no, despite the fact that this is very subjective ultimately when you look at the Florida state statute. And then also to the funding, right? The big thing is the funding. You know, that's important to balance out as far as, you know, if we were to redraw the maps to pull away from the east side of Federal Highway and then incorporate. So it's always been my position with staff, you know, is what does that look like as far as, you know, maybe trying to mitigate the amount of revenue loss. And maybe we, you know, maybe that is the case. You know, I just look at certain areas in the city, and I think there's, I mean, my neighborhood's one of them, that there's opportunity, especially when you talk about crime. Yeah, or code. In code.
Right. You know, sir, I just want to tell you all personally, thank you for your study. Thank you for, you know, the eye-opener that you have given this city. And before we go down the road tooting, I think we need to kind of like revisit and say, you know, how can we do just a little bit more? We're making progress now, but for 43 years, I felt like we should have been further down the road than we are now. I'm not faulting anybody, because some of those 43 years I set up here, probably 20 of those years up here, and I was doing what I thought was right. But, you know, there was some slight that was done, but I'm just saying, with everybody working together, we can do better. That's all I'm saying. We need to do better.
And we're running out of time.
Yes, quickly.
We're running out of time. So we only have, 18 years left.
So just for
the
some
CRA
consensus, would we, is the direction to move forward with the study, and instead of giving them specific boundaries to look at, should we ask them to come back with what they feel could be supported as expansion areas, generally in north and south of the existing CRA?
I mean,
So,
I have some specific areas that I think that I would like to know for sure? Is it a yes or no instead of leaving? Do you guys drive the area or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Yes.
did, there was,
Yeah.
And
so-
we have, of the slum and blight that we identified, all of those were taken photographs, and they were geocoded into an ArcGIS system. So you can map out and visually see them for the record. And then we also geolocated all of the crime statistics, the building permits, the code violations. So all that information is available in a GIS system, very visual to see. And we will certainly, make that available for everyone to view. This was just, again, this preliminary report. We're definitely looking for additional direction, looking at the, they call it subjective, but essentially the minimum guardrails that the state statute has for identifying somebody. You just can't arbitrarily just go out and do it, but they have set up this particular criteria. And if you do check off enough of those boxes, then, yeah, there's justification. So, and I hope during my presentation I had, although the super large areas and the referendum are two big factors, there are particular sub areas within those expansion districts that do qualify. So we can go and refine that. If you have specific areas, by all means, please provide that to your staff or to us directly, and we will go ahead and do that analysis.
Great.
Yeah.
Nothing else from the board? If so, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
guys.
You're looking for a motion to adjourn, so move.
Second.
Motion to adjourn, we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Meeting adjourned at 8:50 PM. Thank you, everyone.
Just kidding.